asked you, male children, if there be in this neighborhood any good man who will give two of the humblest servants a night of hospitality and refreshment.
If the Reverend Fathers loved good cheer and a long few months of riding would carry them to the priority of rings, there could they spend their nights and have a sleep, and they will have some food.
My honest friend, if the jangling of thy bells hadn't dieseled in understanding, thou might know that we, churchmen, do not exhaust each other's hospitality, but rather require that of the laity, giving them thus an opportunity to serve God in honoring and relieving his appointed servants. Tell us, if thou canst, the road to, how called you, Franklin? Prayer Aimer?
Cedric, tell me, good fellow, how near his dwelling, and can we show us the road?
Your reverences must hold to this way until you come to a sunken cross of which scare a cubit length from mouth above ground. Then take the path to the left, for there are four which meet at sunken cross, and I trust your reverences will obtain shelter before the storm comes soon.
Remember what I told you, this wealthy Franklin is proud and jealous and irritable, a withstander of the nobility, and even have his neighbors, Reginald Frondeboff and Philip Maleficent, who are no babies to strive with.
You are a man of gallantry, learned in the studies of beauty, another expert as a troubadour in all matters concerning the arts of love. But I shall expect much beauty in this celebrated Rowena to counterbalance self-denial and forbearance which I must exert if I am to court the favor of such seditious churl as you have described your father Cedric.
Cedric is not your father. She is descended from higher blood than even he pretends to, and is but distantly connected with him by birth. Of her beauty you soon will judge. Cedric the Saxon, if offended, and he is no way slack in taking offense, is a man who, without respect to your knighthood, my high office, or the sanctity of either, would clear his house of us and send us to lodge with the larks, though they were midnight.
Why, dear is Lady Rowena?
She is but changing her head where you wouldn't wish her to sit down to the banquet in her hood and profit.
I wish her devotion may choose fair weather for the next visit to St. John's. Where is Wemba? Said not someone he had gone worse with girth. Why, this is better. He is carried off too, the Saxon foot, to serve the Norman lord. Fools are we all indeed that serve them and fit subjects for their scorn and laughter, than if we were born with but half our wits. I will go with my complaint to the great council. I have friends, I have followers. Man to man will appeal to the Norman league, to the gate. Name see what tidings with horn tells us of two nouns, win, some heirship, and robber which has been done upon my lands. Aimer, the prior Aimer, Brian the boy Gilbert. More welcome would they have been to have ridden further on their way, but if we're unworthy to murmur for the night's lodging and a night's food in the quality of guests, at least even Normans must suppress their insolence. Go, Huntbert, take 6 of the attendants and introduce the strangers to the guests morning. Rita, let the dead Rowena know we shall not this night expect her in the hall, unless such be her special pleasure.
But it will be her special pleasure, for she is ever desirous to hear the latest news from the Palestine.
Palestine! How many ears are turned to the tales which dissolute crusaders or hypocritical pilgrims bring from that fatal land? I grieve, reverend prior, that my woe binds me to advance no further upon this floor of my fathers. even to receive such guests as you. But my steward has expounded to you the cause of my seeming unhospitality.
Vows must be unloosed, worthy Franklin, or permit me rather to say, worthy Thane, though the title is antiquated. Vows are the knots which tie us to heaven. They are the cords which bind the sacrifice to the horns of the altar, and are therefore, as I said before, to be unloosed and discharged unless our Holy Mother Church shall pronounce the contrary. And respecting language, I will inly had communication in that spoken by my respected grandmother, who died in odorous entity, a little short, if we may resume to say so, of her glorious namesake, the blessed Saint Hilda of Whiteby. God be gracious.
I speak ever French, the language of King Richard and his nobles, but I understand English sufficiently to communicate with natives of the town.
4B, place for the letter of N.
Sir Temper, the cheeks of her Saxon maidens have been too little of the sun to enable them to breathe the fixed glance of a crusader.
I crave your pardon, I crave the letter of Anna's pardon, for my humility will carry me no longer.
The Lady Rowena has punished us all, in chastising the boldness of my friend. Let me hope she will be less cruel to the splendid train which are to meet at the tournament.
Our going there is uncertain. I love not these vanities, which were unknown to my fathers when England was free.
Let us hope, nevertheless, our company may determine you to travel with us when the roads are so unsafe. The escorts of the Sir Brian de Bois Gilbert is not to be despised.
Sir Prior, wheresoever I have travelled in this land, I have hither to found myself with the assistance of my good word and faithful followers, in no respect nearful of other aid.
I will spare your courtesy, Sir Knight, or rather I will tax it so far as to require of you the latest news from Palestine, a thing more agreeable to our English ears than the compliments which your French breeding teaches.
I have little of importance to say, lady, accepting the confirmed tidings of a truce with Saladin.
I drink to you, Sir Prior, in this cup of wine, which I trust your taste will approve, and I thank you for your courtesy. Admit him, be he who or what he may, a night like that which roars without campbells, even wild animals, to hurt with the tame or to seek the protection of man, they are mortal fool rather than perish by the elements. Let him once be ministered to with all care. Look to it.
Saint Mary, an unbelieving Jew, and admitted into this presence.
Peace, my worthy guests. My hospitality must not to be bounded by your dislikes.
Old man, my garments are dried and my hunger is appeased. Thou art both wet and fasting.
There comes not one wearing this badge to answer yet, to whom, beside the sworn champions of the Holy Silpius, can the palm be assigned among the champions of the cross?
Were there then none in the English army whose names are worthy to be mentioned, with the Knights of the Temple and of St. John?
The English monarch did indeed bring to Palestine a host of gallant warriors, second only to those whose breeds have been the unceasing bulwark of the blessed land.
Second to no one. The English chivalry were second to none who ever drew the sword in defense of the Holy Land. I say besides, for I saw it, that King Richard himself and 5 of his knights held the tournament after the taking of St. John the Acre as challengers for all the comers.
Could you tell me the names of those knights who upheld so gallantly the renown of Mary England? And who was the thief?
We must all tell the name of the knight before whose lance, fortune, and my horse's fault occasioned my falling. It was the knight of Ivanhoe, nor was there on the sixth that, for his years, had more renown won in arms, yet this will I say. That was he in England, and durst repeat at this week's tournament the challenge of St. John the Acre. I mounted, and armed as I know I am, would give him every advantage of weapons and abide the result. Thou the band, they course to the tournament.
I go but to seek the assistance of some brethren of my tribe to aid me to pay the fine that the exchequer of Jews have imposed upon me. Father Jacob, be my speed.
Leave the mansion immediately, while its inmates are sleeping soundly after the last night's revel. I will guide you by the secret paths of the forests, and I won't leave you till you are safe.
What's happening? It doesn't matter. I will go with you.
Arise, Gurt, undo the postern gate. Let us out, the Jew and me.
Both Jew and Gentile must be content by the opening of the great gate. We suffer no visitors to leave our mansion at such an unreasonable hours. Willingly, most willingly shall be done.
There is now no fear to pursuit. Our roads should be separate now.
Thank you, but not till you have had the poor Jew thanked. Something should I do more than this. But forgive me. Should I guess what you most lackest at that moment?
If thou wert to guess truly what thou canst not supply, were thou as wealthy as thou sayest, thou art poor.
Thy wish even now for a horse and armor, I can supply it. In the town of Leicester find Kirjat Jairam. Of this he will give you the choice of armor and horses. You'll need it for the tournament. Fare thee well.
Yonder jewels must be the very model of that perfection, whose charm thereof fantastic the wisest king of the era.
The rose of Sharon and the lily of the valley. But your grace, when we remember, she is still but a Jewess.
What is she? Is such thy wife or thy daughter?
My daughter Rebecca, so please your grace.
Have you confessed yourself, brother, and have you been unmasked this morning, that you peril your life so frankly?
I am more fitted to meet death than thou art.
Then take your place in the list and look yourself last upon the sun.
Gramercy for thy courtesy.
It is now your duty to name the fair lady who is preside over next day festival.
Sounds fair.
Long live the Lady Rowena! Long live the Saxon princess!